Hey, what's up?
What's up? All right, I'm just gonna say this right now. We're just gonna jump into it because I can tell this is it's gonna be spicy.
But you know what? That's what makes it interesting. You know,
Yeah.
people don't want to hear people who agree on everything.
What? We can disagree and still be friends. Stop the presses.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, Donald! Don't.
Oh God!
I could you? I could you?
All right.
No, you know what? I'm going to say this right now. Maybe I was so disappointed because the first 2 episodes set the bar so high.
We'll see. We're going to discuss, and I'm going to make a nickel bet, as my mother and I often do about things, nickel bet.
Better than a nickel back.
Oh, hey-oh. But,
yeah.
By the end of our discussion here, I think you're going to come out liking this episode a lot more than when you watched it.
Okay.
That's my nickel bet. We'll see what happens. Let's cue the music and get started here. Okay. Hello and welcome once again to Talk Amongst Ourselves. I'm Nora.
And I'm Colleen.
And this is Talk Amongst Ourselves, and we're going to be discussing episode 3 of season 42 of Saturday Night Live, hosted by Emily Blunt with musical guest Bruno Mars. Okay, let's just start with the cold open, which was unfrickin' believably awesome.
Amazing.
It was so good. They tackled every single thing that came up in the debate and as a result of the debate, I thought. Just threw it all in there. What did they miss?
There's one thing they missed.
Okay.
I wish they would have done something about how it looked like Donald was humping the back of his chair when he held on to it.
Yeah, that was... they didn't put that in, but in some ways, I'm kind of glad they didn't totally go there, just because...
Yeah, I guess.
But, I mean, they could have easily just had a moment when he was with the chair behind Hillary. Mm-hmm. That would have been fine, too. But, I mean, the shark thing... first of all, the opening with Cecily, the new guy who did a great Anderson
Alex
Cooper.
Moffat. Yay, thank you, Alex Moffat.
He did great.
For doing a great Anderson Cooper.
But I love that they're taking a shot before it, and Cecily's like, welcome to the second and worst ever presidential debate.
And because I think a lot of us, maybe me, did that too before the debate.
Took a couple shots.
Yeah.
So
there were a few reasons.
Woo, lots of shots. But I mean, first of all, they come out with the little thing, and the hands like shake, like the whole that was great.
The circling each other with Ors o Fortuna playing
that was great.
It was good, but it felt like a little long and a little much. I did love the hand psych out.
The hand psych out was great.
I wish she would have done that to him in real life.
Yeah, that would have been awesome had she done it. And then I love Cecily introducing the crowd. These are undecided, uncommitted, and definitely not camera ready people.
Well, and you know what? That made me think. I wonder if undecided really meant they were undecided whether they were going to vote at all.
It could be.
Because how could some of the people? I'm sorry, if you're black, if you're Muslim,
if you're a woman. Of any color. I love this sketch because it just lays Trump out there bare, and I think that's why he hates it so much, and he's been tweeting, he tweeted about it, and he was so upset about the sketch.
Apparently,
he really did this time.
The real Donald Trump is something of a prophet, so
yeah.
Follow the real Donald Trump because he may be, predicting his tweets a couple weeks ahead of time.
I think maybe Donald is just using Donald as his tweet writer.
Apparently, you can tell if he wrote it or somebody on his team wrote it because he tweets from an Android now.
Right.
Because, Apple's terrible. They need to bring their jobs back from China.
China. There were so many good zingers in this. First of all, the Ken Bone segment was brilliant.
We'll get to
dance
that.
Party.
We'll get to that.
Oh,
hey,
come on.
My notes are in order. Okay,
girl, you take it. Take it.
Okay. I wish they had done. Okay, when Hillary's casual lean, I almost wish they had done that back in 2012 for Romney.
Yes.
Watch as I attempt a casual lean.
As I portray a human man on stage.
And then the first question where she goes, "Are you a teacher?" Yeah, kids. You like kids. Okay.
You've seen a kid.
We're bonding.
I'm going to walk over to you as I practiced. Left, right, stop, and speak.
Chelsea and my daughter Chelsea and my granddaughter Chelsea Jr.
Yeah.
That was great. And then Trump's response, which I think would probably be the best debate strategy for him. No, next.
Yeah. Are you portraying a good role model for kids? No, next. Yeah.
Except when he talked about how he helps out children, I marry them. Apparently, in real life, he did have to promise Ivanka that he would not date somebody younger than her.
Ugh.
I know, that's gross.
Can you imagine having to have that conversation with your dad? Like, okay, you're on the dating market again. They have to be no younger than me. I mean, like, why would you even have to have that conversation? That's disgusting.
But I roared at I helped a 10-year-old back in 1992. I helped a young man named Kevin McAllister. I roared.
But he's like in a documentary called Home Alone, Lost in New York.
Because Donald Trump's cameo in the plaza is the closest he will ever get to being likable.
Like an actual human. Yeah.
So I was like, because I remember watching it as a kid, and I go, Mom, who's that? Because she kind of reacted when he came on the screen, and I was like, what, Mom? Why is that funny? She goes, oh, he owns the plaza. His name's Donald Trump. I was like, oh, okay.
It was so obvious that he was like, look at me, I'm Donald Trump, I'm relevant, I'm important, I'm in this movie. You know, like, whatever. But, okay, are we on the Ken Bone yet? Because I really want to talk about Ken Bone.
No, we do need to talk about when he's like, we have 4 women who are here tonight.
And he's holding up 3 fingers.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay, I forgot about that. 4 women here tonight. I think most people, if they saw it, they didn't remember it because I haven't heard people talking about that moment. But it was so brilliant when she goes, "What?"
She starts crying. Yeah. Oh, how am I going to remember all my talking points and statistics?
All my facts and figures. She sounded almost like Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah.
And then she goes, get real. I made a steal. Hi, girls.
Yeah. What's up? Oh, Kate McKinnon. I'm sorry. I love you so much, Kate McKinnon. I even said to my mother, like, she could be in every sketch and I would not be bored. Obviously, that would be impossible for the costume changes and everything.
Right.
But I would not mind to see Kate in every sketch.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, and then the stalking. We knew that was going to come up. And I love how there are layered references in here, like in this episode, in terms of like Trump and the campaign, because you know they did the Jaws theme on purpose because of what Mike Huckabee said.
Yeah.
And he was so good and was creeping across screen. The only part I don't agree with was that Hillary like turned around and got distracted because no, that wouldn't happen in real life.
No, but I love when he just comes up at the end. False! And she's like, ah! She totally freaks out.
Yes.
Okay. I just love that they just were like, we need something nice. And here's Ken Bunny's dancing and they have the little glitter frame around his whole, thing. And he just does the little pose at the end. And I thought that was hilarious. And then Cecily's like, you're not going to turn out to be some creeper, right?
Are you? Maybe. Oh, we can't have anything nice. And I love that because that's exactly how I reacted when his creepy, right? But how messed up is it that we are harder on and more judgmental of Ken Bone for his creepy and problematic Reddit comments. I can't talk to. Than what Trump said in all his Howard Stern interviews over the years.
Because here's the deal. It's because we are in I'm just going to say a terrible word right now. We are in a star fucker culture where everybody wants to know everything that's going on with celebrities, what underwear they're wearing, who they're sleeping with, what food did they eat, what car are they driving, what do they think about the sunset. We're stalking them on Instagram. We're stalking them on every social media possible. So when someone like Donald Trump says something, we built Donald Trump up as a society to this demigod. And so now, of course, a
demigod to a demagogue.
Yeah, exactly. He is basically now, untouchable in many people's eyes. And they don't believe half of the stuff that people are saying, that these women are accusing him of or whatever. So then you have a normal guy, whoever, Ken Bone, Mr. Sweater. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, you're adorable. We love you. Oh, you like naked pictures of Jennifer Lawrence. Let's burn him at the stake. It wasn't just him. First of all, Jennifer Lawrence, I'm sorry that happened to you. I blocked anybody who tried to show me that stuff because that's just disgusting.
He apologized.
But I was just going to say, full tip of the hat to Ken Bone for owning his mistake and saying, yes, I did those things and I was an idiot. And I'm sorry. He didn't try and say, that wasn't me. I got hacked. Oh, and, people shouldn't take it so harshly. Or like,
and
he made no excuses for it.
I was a private citizen.
Yeah.
He didn't pull that.
He made no excuses for his unacceptable behavior. He simply said, it was unacceptable, and I apologize. And for that...
And Trayvon Martin, too. He said, he was, looking more into it, he goes, I was quoting the Justice Department, but he goes, I understand that was probably not a very intelligent or sensitive thing to say.
And I say, you know what? He's a human being. And for that aspect of it, I will say, I personally, I was never, I didn't jump on the Ken Bone train of he's, the adorable American that we all pretend we want to be. But I will say, that's some class right there, and good for you for navigating your newfound celebrityness in a classy way, which you can't totally say for other celebrities, Donald Trump, who are, constant. He's tweeting now about a sketch on SNL. I'm sorry, you're running for president
of a show, and he says it's dead, it's past its prime.
Yeah.
You hosted this show 11 months ago.
I know.
And talked about how wonderful it is.
It was the highest rated show they ever had in the history of Saturday Night Live. Actually, it wasn't, Donald.
It wasn't.
Because I boycotted that episode, and I know many, many other people who boycotted that shit, and I will never watch your episode, Donald Trump. Never, ever, ever. And Saturday Night Live, let me just say, you're making up for it here with Alec Baldwin and his brilliant Trump. You got to keep this going because you guys, let the monster in and you gave him, a tiara.
But the thing is, the people who let the monster in aren't even the ones who have to publicly pay the price for it by being on camera every week. Those people had nothing to do with the decision of him hosting.
No, I know the actors on... they don't choose who hosts. That's up to Lauren and the producers.
Even the writers, yeah.
Yeah. I'm talking to Lauren. I'm talking to Lauren right now.
Yeah, that's what's such crap about this, Lauren, is that your low-paid, hardest working people on your staff are the ones that have to pay to bear the public backlash.
Yeah.
Whereas you get to just hide in your office and eat popcorn.
What was said at the Emmys by Jimmy Kimmel, I have to say, I'm not a huge Kimmel fan, but he killed it at the Emmys. And when he called Mark Burnett out in front of everybody, and was Mark Burnett, I blame you for Trump. And he's laughing. Mark Burnett's like, oh, please don't stab me.
But he looked like he's like,
and guess what? We should blame Mark Burnett for Trump because he's the one that put Trump in the seat and turned the cameras on. And greenlit that show for all those years. The Trump issue for me, I think, is being handled brilliantly right now by SNL by just literally doing Trump. They're not even doing a parody. They're just doing Trump. And I think that in itself is bringing humor to a very dark period in our country right now, which everyone is experiencing. And
I think that's why Ken Bone became Ken Bone. He was a living, breathing meme, and he was some joy and positivity in this.
Hats off to him anyway for staying, he didn't delete all his social media and crawl into a hole and run away.
And hats off to Bobby Moynihan, who was his only. No, I guess
he was in the other.
He was in the.
We'll talk. We'll get there. Okay, we'll get there.
But anyways, and then say something nice about, and the way Kyle Mooney phrased the question about listing every horrible thing that Donald Trump had said about her throughout this entire debate, and then goes name something you like about each other, because that's how I felt. I was like, this woman has to say something nice about him.
Yeah. But I love Kate's response was honestly the best response in the world. I love how generous he is. Just last Friday, he handed me the election, and then she's shimmying.
Yeah, and then Hillary was like, "Damn it, I wish I would have said that."
Right, that would have been like, boom, mic drop. She should just walk off the stage. I mean,
you know what? In a way, Kate McKinnon acts as sort of like the equivalent of an Obama anger translator.
Yeah.
Kate says what Hillary probably wishes she could say.
I think so. I think this is the inner monologue in Hillary's head, is the embodiment that Kate is putting out there.
Even her personality flaws. I mean, she probably is running that through her head. Okay, how do I seem relaxed and likable? Okay, I can do this.
Yeah. I thought the cold open was so good.
Oh, and vote November 35th.
Yeah, November 35th. Yes. Please. That was, don't forget, Trump actually told his followers to vote on the 28th of November. And I hope they take his advice. I hope they show up at the polls on the 28th. Okay, so the next, obviously, Emily's monologue. I thought this was brilliant. I thought it was really good. I'm even more excited to see her now as Mary Poppins than I was. Oh, you're making a face! You're making the face! What's the face for?
For some reason, it felt like... Okay, here's my general impression. I feel like they had something else in mind and had to scrap it at the last minute. This felt very rushed. And, I've watched it twice. And there were moments that felt very... It felt like this weird, low energy and yet rushed. And there were parts of it that were super unrehearsed. Like, if you look at them on stage at the end, it looks like they threw it together, maybe Thursday.
Maybe they did, but I liked it. I was just honestly concerned for Cecily and that puppy she had, because I looked at that puppy and I said to my mom, that puppy's about to pee all over Cecily. She needs to get rid of that dog quick. I love the whole thing. I love the puppies and the cookies.
I'm never going to be mad at a puppy.
No, who can be mad? That's the whole point. I mean, who can be mad at a puppy? And Emily's so cute. Huh?
They were realistic. I love that realistic, because everybody's I always think about this when a boyfriend gets his girlfriend a puppy or something like that. That's a lot of money and responsibility and time and effort. Okay, it's cute, but then they actually got to train that thing.
I love Keenan. He's like, this puppy is not housebroken and he just ate.
Yeah, or hasn't had any of his shots and hates people.
Yeah.
And also, I never noticed Pete Davidson's terrible tattoos.
Yeah, he's got some.
They are bad.
As a tattooed person, I would say
you have sleeves.
He has a couple that are nice, but you can tell that his first few tattoos, he just walked into a rando shop at midnight. Was like, dude, what's that? I want that. And the guy just gave him a cheap tattoo because he wanted something that costs under $100. And I'm going to say this about tattoos for everybody who doesn't have tattoos. You get what you pay for. So if you want a cheap tattoo, it's going to look terrible. If you want nice tattoos like I have, you got to pay money. And also, it's not just about how much you pay. You really have to search for an artist. And you have to look through their portfolio, scan through their Instagram, and see what they can really do. Because if they can't draw, let them put something on you permanently.
It's like plastic surgery.
Yes.
Do your
shop
research.
Around.
Not that I would know. Obviously. I mean, look at this. This is definitely au naturel.
Girl, you got it going on in all the right places. Don't you worry about it.
I think.
Yeah, but Pete's tattoos are not. Dear Pete, sweetie, you're young. I get it. You're famous now. Find a good artist. People will want to tattoo you. Trust me.
The placement is awkward too. They're half.
It's because he started a sleeve in a weird spot, and I made that mistake and got my forearm done first, and then the upper half. And really, if you're going to start a sleeve, you should start at the top, or really have a concept for the whole thing.
That's what bothered me about it.
Yeah, and some people do piecemeal. I mean, what's his face from Maroon 5? He started out with just random tattoos, and then he had a really skilled artist put it all together, and his sleeves are gorgeous. So
to the point that you don't even notice them. You notice them at first, but then they're not garish.
No,
because Pete's were distracting and not.
Well, they're not as bad as Ed Sheeran's. I'm just gonna say that his tattoos are terrible. Anyway, we're getting off on tattoos. Okay,
that's what I was afraid. That's why I took such detailed notes, because I was afraid we were gonna go off on tangents, because I'm like, I don't want to.
We are gonna go off on tangents because there's some. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I'm a fan of this episode. I laughed at every sketch. We're gonna discuss. Now, the next sketch is the escort sketch. That's what I'm gonna call it, because it didn't have a title or anything. I'm gonna say this. I liked this sketch. I didn't love this sketch. I thought at the very end it finally picked up and became like over the top enough to be funny. But the beginning part with like Emily listing out all her allergies and weird things, I thought was funny, but it wasn't like enough until, like she's falling on the bed and then Leslie holding up the Stewie suit. Like, I just love that the only role play she can do is Stewie from Family Guy, and she doesn't even do the voice well. Like, it's so terrible. I just thought that made me laugh so hard. And Leslie letting him know that he's going to need a safe word.
The Stewie cosplay. Okay. You're right. Okay, I might be looking back on this.
I mean, come on. Okay, I watched it live. In your mind, Leslie with the Stewie outfit on, like getting sexy with this guy.
I don't know. I think it's almost funnier on a hanger. Because it looks so sad.
It looks like so wrong. I mean, everything about this was wrong. Emily's telling, some detergents give me a terrible raised rash, and so we're gonna just make love on the bare mattress. Like, first of all, don't ever, people going to a hotel, don't ever sit on a bare mattress, okay? Because that's you're taking your life in your own hands.
Like clench my legs.
It's so disgusting. But I love that she, she's like, well, I can role play too, but it's Patty Pendergast. It's it's an original character.
Character.
It's so funny. I mean, and then Emily losing her shit, and she's like, "Oh no, muffed it up again!" Like I couldn't help but laugh.
Oopsie-doopsie. I will say I would love to see them do something in a movie. I would love to see these two in a movie together, because Leslie Jones and Emily Blunt, their chemistry is very genuine. There's a connection there. I really think that has potential. Yeah. And honestly, I kind of wish I saw her starting to break, and I kind of wish that she had broken a little bit more.
Yeah, I think it would have been better.
If you gotta break. Yeah. I think my theory is about this episode and why I felt like I had a weird energy. I think Emily Blunt didn't think she was going to be as nervous as she was. And I think it really rattled her. Instead of just leaning into it, it rattled her. So
yeah, I agree. I think, but I felt her energy. I felt like she was having a good time and she was trying really hard. And overall, I'm going to give her like an A for her performance.
Oh yeah, she was game.
She was great. She was great. I mean, I love that well, we're going to get to the other sketches, but I love that we run the gamut of British people. We did not see a girlfriend sketch, SNL writers. Hello, please listen to our podcast. We are giving you gold here. We didn't see that. 80 was in more. Where was Sashir? Was Sashir on vacation?
Yeah, she was in the we'll get the Melania Aid.
Oh yeah, okay. I take it back.
She was great.
She was fantastic, but that was the only thing she was in. Okay, so the next thing is Melania Aid. And my mom and I were having a whole debate on how to pronounce it, and I was like, "No, Mom, this is a parody of Beyonce's Lemonade."
Beyonce's Lemonade, and I had to explain that too. And I was like dancing along to it. I was like, I need to see Lemonade again. I want to watch Lemonade again. Have you seen Lemonade? I assume you have.
I've seen Lemonade. My mom's like, well, I've seen bits of it. Good. I get it. I get the reference. But I thought this was so good. This was so good. And Vanessa, thank you for your Tiffany Trump. Thank you.
Yes, because okay.
We saw more Vanessa this episode, so I was happy about that.
I thought of you when I was watching that, and I was like, oh, maybe they are listening. How long did this take? The production value.
They must have started shooting this on like Sunday night.
The choreography,
so good.
Oh my gosh. Like, they must have started writing this like during the debate.
I think this has been in the works since Emily was announced as a host.
Absolutely. The head writers, God, why can't I remember
Sarah Schneider and Chris Kelly, the head writers. Yes.
Yes, they are the ones who are responsible, especially for the female-driven content. And they were the minds behind this. So apparently, I bet you They started working on this during the summer, I bet.
And I love it. I love what they're doing right now.
They're laying it down. Tiffany Trump, because I was like, yes,
thank you.
Because I feel like she's been so wronged, but in the same time, she's so lucky because she's the one that's going to have the best chance at actually living a normal life after this campaign.
One can hope. For her.
She's studying for law school right now, so.
Yeah, I mean, hey, and I think somebody was listening because didn't I say she should just go buy Tiffany Maples? I'm sorry.
I actually cheered when it said Tiff Maples.
Yeah.
And Shashira's Omarosa was
so good.
Perfect.
So good.
So good. And then, I love this. I love whenever this happens. The Mike Pence throwing Mike Pence at the end.
That was so great.
You only want me when I'm not there.
I thought his accent was much better this time
better
in the Melania Aid thing. Yes. So people are listening. I appreciate it. Okay, the next sketch was the film festival sketch, which cracked me up because I go to so many screenings and other things where there's a Q&A. And I look forward to the Q&A. And so I love when it, like, first of all, the movie is like less than a minute long. I don't even know, 42 seconds, something like that. And then, okay, we're going to welcome up the cast and crew. Come on up. And it's everyone in the audience except for Vanessa. It's going to be the only person who's going to answer questions.
And I will say that what's interesting is, like, entertainment journalists probably had the most positive reaction to this because they have seen that and watching this, I was like, this seems like I've never been to. Actually, I'm sorry, I've been to one Q&A, but it was the SNL documentary Q&A.
Oh, okay.
The former head of the costume department who helped produce it actually came here to Flick's Brewhouse, and they screened the documentary live from New York, and then he had a Q&A afterwards.
Oh, wow.
But that was just, one person. But I watched it and I was like, I guarantee you this is exactly how
let me just say, I go to a ton of these screenings, and mostly they happen in LA. So I drive into LA to go to these screenings, and you have a Q&A with, usually they try and get, like, the stars of the movie. Like, when I saw Room, there was a Q&A with Brie Larson after, and we could have a whole podcast about my reaction to Room. Brie Larson is my everything. She is such an amazing actress. I love her.
I love, like,
she's
guys,
so good.
Follow her on Instagram just to see how, like, she seems like as awesome of a person as she is an actress.
She is. And let me just say this. I couldn't be more pumped that she's playing Captain Marvel.
Absolutely.
If they had done this movie 10 years ago and casted Katie Sackhoff, I would have been just as happy. But now that it's Brie Larson, I am like, I love Captain Marvel. So I don't want to go off on a Brie Larson tangent.
Also, and she, like, worked her way into my heart when she was in the first episode of the first sketch of the first episode of Kroll Show.
Oh, that is super nerd-tastically deep.
Yeah, deep cut. Deep cut.
That is way deep. But this sketch is accurate because at one Q&A screening I was at, the director of the film was in the doing the Q&A, and basically was like thanking like 100 people in the audience who were standing up and waving, and people were clapping for them and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, like, 60% of the audience were people who were somehow involved with the film.
And that actually explains why there are so many standing ovations for shitty movies at film festivals.
Every year, my mom and I go to the Santa Barbara International Film Festival, and we buy, like, a little packet that gets us into every panel. So we go to the writers panel, the directors panel, the producers panel, and the women's panel. And those are fantastic. And those are a mix. Those are filled with industry people and then, like, film crazy buffs like me and my mom, who are just there to be like, oh my God, I'm in the same room as these people.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. My knuckles have locked and my mouth is dry. Yeah. Like, that's basically how I feel. It is so. And Santa Barbara, I have to say, everyone's like, oh, it's Santa Barbara. It's so, but they got 2 years in a row now. They've had every single Oscar-nominated director, writer, and producer.
Deal. That film festival is a big deal.
And I love that it's 40 minutes from my house. So it's like super convenient for me.
Lucky. I still have 6 months. 6 months.
You can do it. You can do it, girl. You can do it. But I thought this was accurate. I thought Vanessa was fantastic. them passing the microphone back and forth.
And and I love how she got like annoyed after a while that she kept having to get up, and then she just dragged
the mic over. And everybody's inspiration is Charlie Kaufman.
Yeah.
I saw Charlie Kaufman. He actually came to speak last year. Yeah, at the writers' panel. He was speaking about his film Anomalisa, which, by the way, I think I'm the one person in the whole world that loathed that movie. I loathed it.
No, I heard it was kind of like, at least at the...
Oh my God, people couldn't stop talking about how they loved it. I actually got in an argument with a guy in front of me about how terrible it was. So I'm not a huge Charlie Kaufman
this is where the talk amongst ourselves come in during these episodes. Okay,
I know we're gonna editing.
We've been great. Yeah, we've been great about like keeping it right and tight with the SNL recaps, but sometimes we'll meander. Whatever, we'll talk. Whatever. Okay, I'll give you a topic. If you get bored, I'll give you a topic. Men's rights activists are neither activists, no right, no men. Discuss.
Oh, we're gonna get some hate love for that. Okay, the next
men's rights activists are going to be the type that listen to this show anyway.
No, I have to say this Chonk commercial.
Oh my God!
I was laughing so hard because
I'm obsessed.
I loved it so much because, first of all, right now, kids and everyone listening out there, I just tweeted yesterday that I was so stoked that for the first time in a decade I was under 200 pounds. I'm 5'5". I'm a curvy girl, as they say. And so it's hard for me to go shopping really anywhere. Like, I've been shopping at Torrid for the last couple years because it's like one of the few places where A, I could find a bra that actually fit, and B, that had a shirt that was cut for a woman who actually has breasts of any shape or size.
Which is a recent...
Yeah, that's a recent phenomenon.
Problem of mine in the last decade.
So, but I think this was so... Oh, go ahead.
Tall with the high waist and broad shoulders. So it's like, okay, I can get a shirt that fits in the shoulders, but then makes me look about like 25 pounds heavier than I am because it doesn't fit the waist. Yeah. So, which is like, whatever, tall girl problems.
That's the problem I have. When I get a shirt that fits my boobs, it's like a tent everywhere else. Mm-hmm. So, because when you have ginormous boobs, that's what happens. Nothing is tailored to fit you. Yeah. So it's like, you know what? I'm happy that stores like Torrid exist, but I think Chonk. Chonk. It was like the embodiment of everything you hate as a woman who doesn't have a fit model-sized body going shopping, and I love that.
And that we should be grateful.
Yeah.
And lucky.
And I love how the men are shopping, and we also have a men's department called Normal Clothes.
Yeah. But I love how the Chonk was in the Kohl's font.
Yeah. Basically, Chonk.
An 80 stepping in and going, no. I don't want this for my daughter. And again, it's one of those things that's hilarious, but if you rewatch it, you're like, they are making a damn good point. Oh, it's like, it's poignant.
This was a stab at everyone, at the fashion industry, at the clothing industry, at stores, the way they're marketing to women, period.
Yes.
This ripped everyone a new a-hole, and I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. Thank you. So
and
good.
Again, I believe that is also Chris Kelly and
he's bringing
Sarah
it,
Schneider.
Man. They are bringing it, these two.
Chris and Sarah, you're killing it.
Then Bruno comes out to perform his first song. This is his
24
new song,
karat.
24 Karat Gold. And I loved it. Let me say, now, this is the interesting factoid here. Yesterday, I heard this song on the radio in the car with my mother for the first time. And yes, I spend a tremendous amount of time with my mom. We can have a whole podcast about that. But anyway, we were in the car, and I said, oh, Mom, this is Bruno's new song, because she is a gigantic Bruno Mars fan. She loves everything about it. And we're listening to the song,
too, yeah.
And she's like, well, I don't know if I like it. And then I said, well, let's see what happens when he performs it live. So, of course, when you see him and he comes out and he's dancing with his cousins and they're doing their whole,
interactive.
Like, oh, man, then it was like, that song was fire. That song was fire live.
Like, Beyonce, with Beyonce being the exception, this was better than, like, anything that was at the VMAs.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, I've never seen an artist do, like, a musical guest do anything like what he did in terms of, like having a crowd, making use of the entire studio.
Right.
And And again, this goes back to when the last time he was on SNL was
he did double duty as the musical guest and
no.
hosted.
No. That was not the last time he was on. He was on, I think it was almost exactly 2 years ago, and he was with Mark Ronson as a musical guest.
Right.
And about 2 days, it was Cameron Diaz hosted. About 2 days before they performed, Uptown Funk had just entered the charts at number 65.
Right.
So it was out there, but it was not a big deal. Like, people were just kind of aware of it, but it wasn't like, it was not an explosive hit. Then he performed it on SNL. And I remember watching it, and the moment he started going, "Girl, hit you, hallelujah," yeah. I was like, this is going to be huge. I'm watching something special right now, because this is what's going to take it out there.
Yeah. No, agreed. And then the music video for Uptown Funk it came out like
good. It came out like right after. So it's almost like he's figured out how to use, although in this case, 24 Karat came out, the video came out before he was on SNL, but it's almost gotten to the point where he's learned how to use SNL as like part of his marketing. I mean, I don't know of an artist maybe other than, no, not even Frank Ocean, because he was already kind of a big deal by then, but like who has used SNL as such an effective marketing tool for his new music.
I can't say that I've ever seen anyone else launch a brand new song that I'm telling you right now, 24 Karat Gold is going to be number one with a bullet, that has done that as successfully as Bruno. So,
well, I don't know how. Yeah. Even Kanye. I don't know anybody who knows how to use that stage.
Oh no,
as well as, because that's not an easy stage to own.
It's tiny
at all.
And he makes you feel like you are at a stadium with 50,000 people.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
you know what? And I wish I'm sorry, Lady Gaga. I know you'll probably kill it. Whatever.
She's going to kill it.
Well, I wish they would give him. He could do a whole show by himself and have guests on with him. He could headline a Super Bowl.
What did I say last week? Someone please get Bruno Mars a crossover deal and get him acting, because he could do it. You're right. I mean, he could host his own variety show and do a whole thing. I think that would be fantastic. I would watch. I'm ready to tune in.
Before Coldplay was actually announced as the headliner for Super Bowl last year.
Oh, right.
Bruno Mars' name was floated out there as a potential headliner. And people go, does he really have the catalog for that? Yes, he's got the catalog, and more importantly, he has the stage presence.
When he was the headliner, like 3 years ago, whenever he did that, the most powerful moment ever at a Super Bowl halftime happened when it was just a spotlight on him. Nothing else was going on, and he's just singing, basically a cappella with, the music came in later. That was one of the most powerful things I ever saw at a sporting event, halftime show. He blew everyone out of the water. And when Coldplay got announced, let's be real, everyone was like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to not be watching that halftime show. And then they bring in Bruno and Beyonce, and everybody was like, oh,
well, and let's be honest. And this speaks a lot to Coldplay's mentality and their ego. That was Beyonce's halftime show.
Yes. Yeah.
That was that featuring Coldplay, but it shows the lack of ego, the lack of ego and collaborative spirit that Coldplay.
I will give it up to them.
I'll get much more hate for admitting to liking Coldplay than I will for the men's rights advocate thing. I guarantee you, I'm gonna get shit from everybody saying,
it's okay.
Cool. Hey, when I saw the president speak this week. Don't know if you know that. He came out to Coldplay, actually.
There you go. Well, he's a Coldplay fan, as we know. He's a Coldplay fan. Okay, so
I know.
All right, so then next was Weekend Update. And this Weekend Update for me was like this. It just went like up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. Like they had like a really good joke and then like shit joke and then a really good joke and then like was that even a joke? But I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed, the whole let's come out right with the Ken Bone issue and, do that. I thought that was good. And, I thought Colin Jost, though, when he was like, Trump's been. We would believe Trump more if he hadn't been groping the air the entire time he was talking.
And it's true, he does. Oh
he
my
does.
God.
He's sexually assaulting the air around him.
That's probably a trigger just watching that for some people.
And let me say this, I mean, they had some good zingers in there. Like when Jost is like, who would have thought that internet mastermind Julian Assange would be less damaging than Access Hollywood's Billy Bush?
I know.
Mean, that was, I mean, they had some good things in there, and then it just it fell flat. But I have to say,
Laura Parsons.
Well, before that, when Oya comes out, this is one of my favorite characters Kate McKinnon does. Her Oya, I pray every day. Please, nuclear bomb, come to me. Please send me back to hell. I love her whole thing about how terrible Russia is. And it's just
and because it's true, Russia keeps getting worse. So that character,
oh man. That character is going to go on old. Forever. Hello, Colin Jost. Well.
Well, and also we got to talk about Laura Parsons, who is a character.
Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you for doing the Disney character.
Well, and thank you for being controversial and doing something. This is their revenge for the producers and executives forcing them into the Trump situation. It's making comments like this.
This is my favorite thing that SNL has done for 42 seasons is they fucking call they call NBC out on the carpet on their crap constantly. They do not hold back. They let everybody know that NBC does this and NBC, they're not like everybody who works on ABC who's like, I love Disney and Disney is my friend and I dream in animated characters, and now I'm live at Disney World showing you how great it is to eat funnel cake.
They're holding their microphones with Mickey Mouse hands.
I know, right? It's like, no. I love that SNL is unapologetically calling NBC on the carpet on all this stuff. And Laura Parsons, Vanessa Bayer, thank you. This was
when
so
Michael Che
perfect.
said, you can't keep saying inappropriate things. Billy Bush said bad things, and my mom said he might get 10 million from this network.
When she's talking about Ken Bone, he said he liked her butthole. But because when I look at her when she's doing these kid characters, I am picturing like an 11-year-old kid. But she's so over the top theater Disney kid. Like, hey, Michael J, how are you doing?
As somebody who grew up like going to like theater workshops and stuff like that, there were those kids
you met
existed.
Those kids.
And this is like therapeutic to like be able to openly laugh and be like, oh, you're annoying, but you're hilarious.
Right? She brought it so hard in this thing. I would have honestly, they could have scrapped everything else that they said and just had Oya and Laura Parsons come out, and I would have been perfectly happy with the Weekend Update because those were the highlights for sure. Right. And then like the two funny jokes, and then the next skit was the Burger King skit, which I'm just gonna say this: I enjoyed it. I did laugh. It went on way too long.
I did too.
I love the power windows that they had somehow. So hats off to the set department for that.
And how they like sometimes they kind of malfunctioned, and that was actually pretty funny.
but staring at Pete's terrible tattoos this whole time, I was not happy about that. Can we put a long sleeve shirt on him? I don't want to look at that crap. That was like the worst part of the sketch. But I mean, I have to give it up for several people in this sketch. First of all, Keenan. Thank you for the little. I love the wig they had him in. It was like a Don King wig with like a Tintin in the front somehow, and I don't know how they accomplished that with the wig, but that was great. I love. It
was like Kid and Play meets Storm from X-Men, or Rogue from X-Men.
And I love his little like crystal ball cane topper that he has, and then Beck Bennett. I'm sorry with that.
Beck Bennett's really. I think he's going to take the Taron Killam throne.
Oh, he is on track for sure because he was so good. And then of course they threw Bruno in like he was a side dish.
I was just happy to see him.
But I have to say that once again, Keenan had the best line in the sketch when he says, "Now what is this angry burger?" And Pete says, "It's like a Whopper, but it's spicy and it's got onion rings in it. He's like, it has onion rings in it? It's an entree that ate its own side dish?
Oh, and by the way, but you guys might be wondering why they had so many like specific details about the menu. When Saturday Night Live struck a deal to have less ad breaks this year, they were going to, the way they were compensating for the ad revenue was having quote unquote sponsored sketches.
Right.
The two this episode were Burger King and the Honda
and Chonk.
robot.
No, I'm just kidding. Please go shop at Chonk. Yeah, and the Honda sketch, which we're gonna get to.
The 2016 presidential debate in Las Vegas, Nevada, is sponsored by Chonk.
Chonk. But I thought this sketch was funny. We really saw very little of Melissa in this episode. Like, very little. It was,
yeah.
I mean, and she was okay.
I mean, compared to Alex Moffat and Mikey Day, but I think, especially with Mikey, part of the reason he is so visible is because he's been a writer up until this point.
Right.
He knows how, so he writes himself into sketches, and I'm not mad at it because it works.
No, because he and Alex together, I mean, I'm just flashing back real quick to the escort sketch. They were so good. I mean, they were playing it so straight in that sketch. I'm just proud of them for that.
But they're not like bros.
No, they're not bro douches. And thank you for not being that.
What was it, 3 years ago? When they actually made a joke about having so many white hipster bro types that you couldn't tell them apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. Making a joke about it doesn't mean we're suddenly okay with it.
Yeah. So I appreciate Mikey and Matt. They're doing a great
Alex.
job. Alex, sorry. Sorry, Alex. That's terrible. I'm going to edit that out.
Okay, so what are you? Oh, so what are you, NBC now?
Yeah. I'm editing out my errors.
NBC wanted to edit
Alex
out
Moffat.
Billy.
I don't know why I wanted to call him Matt. Maybe it's the last name. I don't know. Whatever.
Out of Matt Chat.
Matt Chat. But that was Mikey anyway.
But he's actually mistakenly identified as Alex at first.
Oh, there you go. See, they're not all white guys are the same person.
I was that nerd on the blog, on like a blog, saying, "Well, actually, you need to correct your article because it's Mikey Day, not Alex Moffat." I have a life, guys.
I love you. Okay, so the Sync short, digital short. I thought this was brilliant because I fucking hate those syncs.
I do too.
So pretentious and lame, and I love the fact that they called out people in general who put these stupid. It's a sink, as my mother said. She goes, "It's a sink. It's in the name. It's supposed to be inside the cabinet. It's not supposed to be standing out there on top of the thing. Like, what's the point of it?" I loved the whole monologue Emily was doing about her life as the sink and like who created her and why and what are people thinking about it. This was so great. I mean, if you watch any, and I don't know one person in the whole world who doesn't watch at least one, home improvement kind of show. If you watch any of these things, you don't watch anything. You don't watch $1 Million Listings.
I watched the parody of $1 Million Listing. Okay, I was forced by my friends in the dorm in college to watch Trading Spaces every goddamn day.
Okay, so you've seen one though. You have not seen it.
Yes.
Okay,
I hate that.
But you don't watch HGTV at all?
No.
What?
No.
What? This is a moment here, people. I'm reevaluating a lot of stuff. This is terrible.
You may only see one of us on the couch next week.
No, I would never not be someone's friend because they don't watch HGTV. I mean, come on.
Hey, then you are unlike a lot of people here.
Oh, you don't watch HGTV? It's over.
I know. I'm gonna get a lot of angry Facebook messages. Like, what?
Please. Okay, I'm just gonna say this to you. There's one show you should watch that will change your mind about HGTV. Watch.
You know what?
Watch
I take that back.
Oh.
I watch Flipping Out.
Okay. That's a good show with Jeff.
And Interior Therapy was awesome.
See?
No, my mom is like, she wants to like move out to Los Angeles and be like Jeff's nanny for their new baby.
She's like, I could do it. Your mom's a patient person, but I don't think she could put up with Jeff.
You had no idea.
She could not. She would murder Jeff in the middle of the night.
Nope. You have no idea. You have no idea. Like,
Then your mom's more patient than Mother Teresa then. I was going to say that. So that's a lot of patience to put up with.
My mom makes Mother Teresa look like an asshole when it comes to patience.
Yeah. That's where we went, kids. We're calling Mother Teresa an asshole. So,
Hey, I said no. Okay, you and your liberal media twisting my words.
Yes, I said
makes.
I know.
God, I know what Mike Pence feels like. Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. The next sketch. It's a convention. It's NextCon, and highlighting the Honda robotics. I thought this was brilliant.
And yeah,
I love the little robot voices, and they're little I mean, I don't even know. Did they get these from the Halloween store? These costumes that they were, because it was so bad, it was good.
No, they got discarded, like people who were arrested at Comic-Con and had to turn their costumes over to the Lost and Found. I don't know.
That was pretty much it. And I'm sorry, Emily and Kate, when she's like a half an inch from Kate's face and just, would you like a cheesy tortilla?
No. Okay, because actually a friend of mine, while this was airing, started texting me. We started texting the lines back and forth. Would you like a mac and cheese ball? Would you like a mini quesadilla? An ooey gooey quesadilla?
An ooey gooey quesadilla.
Okay, God, Emily Blunt. She needs to be back okay, even though this episode wasn't the greatest for me, I do want her to come back.
I thought she was hilarious. I thought she did a good job.
And I mean, because Emily Blunt has done something that I don't know that anybody has been able to do so far. She made Kate McKinnon start to break.
Yeah.
And you know what? And again, I think that's Emily had finally started to lean into her nerves and just
by the end of the show she was just fully in
exactly. Yeah. And not like she wasn't there and didn't bring it, but she was leaning into her nerves. Then you could see how they rattled her at first, and then she was leaning into her nerves, and by the end it was just no, we meet up tomorrow for some more sketches.
She was jonesing for it by the end of the show.
Yeah,
and you could tell the end she was really happy.
Okay, I once we get to the good nights, there's something I do want to talk about that I noticed.
We're almost there. We're almost there, kids. So the next thing, of course, was the Melania moments. This just made me sad. I mean,
I know
this was womp womp. I mean,
this is remember back in the 70s when SNL used to do shorts that were kind of touching and tragic.
Yeah.
Like that Gilda Radner one. Why are you following me?
Yeah.
Go.
This is really. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm feeling for Melania right now.
And the Bruno Mars mouse sketch.
Yes, that was terribly depressing.
That was so brilliant, though.
Yeah, it was sad. I feel for Melania as a human. I can't say I would make the same choices that she made in life, but, I'm not on the Melania hate train. Okay, so Bruno comes out for the second time, kills it again.
I can't wait for this song.
I am excited for this song.
I can't remember what it's called.
Can I just say, I don't know what it's called, but it's something about chunky girls with the big hoop earrings.
Oh, the chunky girl, yeah.
Chunky girls. And I did flashback to Chonk during the song, thinking, they should have tied these things together.
Chonky girls. They should have had the female cast members come out in their wardrobes from that sketch and
that
dance
would have
around.
been brilliant. That would have been brilliant.
I know. See, I mean, I'm not saying we could have made the show better, but I mean, if you're hiring,
Chonk.
At least for your social media coordination.
Okay. Now the last sketch. Oh, sorry, second to last sketch, the PBS British Bake Off sketch, was totally flat for me until Emily and Cecily doing their best.
I want to see more of these characters.
I would love to see these two characters come on Weekend Update and do a social commentary about whatever's happening currently. About Brexit, about the American election, about everything.
I love how they said that they were from a town that voted unanimously for Brexit. Yes. That was brilliant. that was very That's okay. We saw Bobby Moynihan in that. Also, it reminded me a little bit of Little Britain. Little Britain.
Yeah, totally, totally.
And Melissa got some FaceTime screen time.
She got a little bit of screen time, but she was boring. I mean, she's supposed to be a boring person anyway. But
I think it's just she's versatile. She's not just like I'm doing impressions, or hey, I'm gonna have a weird voice.
Yeah, because I'm confused now. I would have to talk to Melissa in real life to know what her actual voice sounds like. Yeah. Like, is that her voice when she's like Kermit the Frogging talking? Is like, okay, maybe that's her voice. Like, I don't know. But this was funny. I mean, Emily just went full throttle in this, and I think she had the most fun in this sketch.
She was trying not to laugh.
Oh God, Cecily was so good too. I mean, in their hair and the outfit,
killed it. Okay, we need to talk about it.
Cecily.
Cecily, I feel like they kind of like pushed her to the back a little bit last season.
Yeah,
she's out here like owning it again. She has as much FaceTime as Kate now.
Yeah. And she deserves it. And she deserves it. She's on fire.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And once again, Kate nailing the character 100%. But it was like they didn't really do a lot with her in the sketch. She didn't get to... I mean, if you haven't watched British Bake Off, then you don't know who this woman is. They did an American version of British Bake Off where this woman came to judge the cakes. And she's very like... She talks like this and she's very proper. And she's like quiet and she's... Well, your sponge is just not moist and bouncy. It's just
she sounds like she could be on a British show on NPR.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just funny to me, like Kate just came in with the subtlety. The wardrobe was perfect. The wig was perfect. So if for people who haven't seen British Bake Off, they're like, who is this lady? Like, what's the point? So they didn't make her a character. You know what I mean? Like, they could have gone off on that, but they didn't.
Also, and we're going to talk about this again, and I'm going to keep hammering this point home, the whole 10-to-1 sketch concept.
Right.
And this isn't technically 10-to-1, but close enough. I mean, close enough.
It's the 10-to-1 sketch, I will say, was out there, and we're going to get to that one next, but...
Well, actually, no, never mind. This is the
second to last. So the next sketch...
This is the 10-to-1 sketch. I feel like it would have been better if we switched this out. We switched places with the Elegant Evenings and
the first sketch, the escort sketch.
Yeah. With the Great British Bake Off. I feel like that would have been better.
This would have been a good first sketch because it would have just brought it in.
Well, and then the energy, the wacky, and the breaking and everything, that energy would have really been there with the Elegant Evening sketch.
Yeah. And
the breaking would have been more extreme and more funny. And it's like, think about it, 10-to-1, seeing somebody hold up their Stewie cosplay outfit. That would have been...
I agree. It would have been much better placement. But
guys... Yeah, guys,
listen up.
I guess my issue isn't so much with the episode as the placement of some of the sketches.
See what I say? You owe me a nickel.
The energy. Okay, I didn't say it. I like it a little better. Okay, do I owe you 2.5 cents.
2.5. I'll take it. Yeah. I'll take it. Because that's about how much we make here at Talk Amongst Ourselves. Okay, the last sketch, this hamster sketch, I have mixed feelings about it. I love the costumes. I love that they're carrying around the water bottle, martini. Your head shaking. You're giving me a no. I thought this was funny. I didn't understand why Beck Bennett was the only one who didn't have the teeth in. Maybe his teeth fell off or they wouldn't stick on his mouth or something. But I thought his character was great. Kate McKinnon. How they did this sketch, the Kate McKinnon and Beck characters, this is how people should have been talking last week in the World War II sketch.
Right.
This should have been the tonality. This should have been the tonality.
I will say it's better than the World War II
Thank
sketch.
you.
But it, again, as a former teacher, I'll say recently the last sketches of the evening have been reminding me of when you give kids a 5-paragraph essay to write. And you can tell toward the end, they're just trying to...
finish it?
Yeah. And so they're writing nonsense.
This is when the handwriting gets real sloppy and it's incoherent.
No, you have to... Well, even when you have to type it now. It's just whatever to get it done. And that's what I feel like at least the past 2 episodes, the sketches are just whatever to get it done.
I agree, but I thought, honestly, this was 100 times better than that World War II piece of crap.
But I feel like they've been killing it on so many different levels that they should, and the sheer volume of sketches that they have to narrow down to make the cut for the show, I can't believe this is the best they have. Maybe it's a time constraint. I do know that they switched things out last minute for dress rehearsal because of, like, maybe it doesn't work with timing or anything. I mean, if we got some of these this week, if some of them were less than stellar because they needed to get Bruno Mars a little bit more time, I'm okay with that.
Right. I'm not going to say I didn't hate this sketch. I thought it had funny elements. I liked that somehow this kid was seeing this little hamster soap opera play out in the little hamster cage, and that they were having this whole discussion about the terrible food that Kate McKinnon's character was making. I just thought this was like a throwback to, like, the TCM sketch that they did. You know, I mean, that was the terrible World War II thing.
Was good.
But
it just,
I thought it was a mixed bag for me. It was not even. It was not an even sketch. It was too, like, disjointed to really work. I mean, and the whole thing, I'm sorry, but, like, you know, hamsters do eat their babies' kids. So this is why you don't want to have a hamster. It's brutal. They are no brutal.
With that. Part of it is I felt like they weren't confident about the sketch. I feel like they were almost kind of apologizing through their performance, like, sorry, but not even like a sassy Gilly sorry. Like, I know, guys, I know you'll think we can do better, and we will. But, like, no, okay, if you gotta sell it, you gotta just lean into the material and sell it.
I thought Kate McKinnon was leaning full tilt into the material.
Kate, of course, but I'm talking about everybody else. Like, no, if you're not sure about something, don't let it show. Okay. And I feel like that was evident. That energy was evident on screen with some of them.
Okay, what did you want to say about the goodnights? What happened there? What was happening?
After she said goodnight, there was a moment where she and Leslie, and, you know, they were clapping and stuff, and she was, this is one of the greatest week of my life, and I mean that. And then she turned around after, like, you know, the music started playing and clapping. She turned around, and there was a moment where she and Leslie, like, looked at each other, and her back was mostly, Emily's back was mostly to the camera. They looked at each other, and Leslie's face all of a sudden got extremely sympathetic, and she said something to her. I analyzed it and tried to figure out. I'm not a lip reader.
Right.
And then they hugged, and it almost seemed like Emily was upset about something. Like, I don't know if she didn't think she did well or what, but it was almost like, I mean, immediately, like, I was exhausted by that.
Well, yeah, and Kate, and she was hugging Kate for a long time. Like, Kate was also talking to her a bit. I noticed that, and so I feel like she didn't think she brought it enough. Which, Emily, you did, okay? Oh, girl, you brung it. It was brought in.
Yes, okay. Maybe the material didn't land where it needed to, but that's not your fault. You were there. You carried that material and threw it out there. That's all you can do.
Yeah, I think she did a great job. I obviously, between the two of us, I liked this episode far more than you did.
And again, maybe my bar has been raised.
See, we have to look at every episode as its own entity. We cannot compare it to the episode before because it's not going to be the episode before, and we can't compare the rest of the episode to the cold opens that they're going to do right now because the cold opens are it's a comedy gold mine right now for them with these debates. There's another one coming up on Wednesday. You know they're going to do that next week. So it's just the cold opens right now should be like their own show. Do you know what I mean?
But they're in the stratosphere. I'm not even talking about the cold opens. I'm talking about maybe it's because the like pacing and energy felt so uneven.
A little bit in this one, but I mean, come on, they brung it with Melania Aid. Overall, we had 2 great Weekend Update characters show up this week, which was better than the other Weekend Updates. That was like the best Weekend Update characters. I'm going to say that.
Anytime I can hear a joke about Billy Bush, it's a good day.
Thank you. And the chonk. You know, the digital shorts were good.
Yeah,
they had
talk amongst yourselves, or Talk Amongst Ourselves is sponsored by Chonk.
Chonk.
I think I'll do that in the social media. I'll be like, episode 4 is sponsored by Chonk.
Chonk. Chonk.
So, but again, and another
and the
thing
musical guest was great. I'm gonna be honest. I did not fast forward through you, Bruno. I watched the whole thing. I will watch it over and over and over and over again.
I loved it.
I love you. I love it. Yeah. So, you know, overall, SNL, you're still bringing it. But once again, as in true SNL style, some sketches are like, and some were really good.
I feel like maybe they're saving up some stuff for Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks with musical guest Lady Gaga.
I am so stoked. Did you know, I saw this whole thing because they're advertising Lady Gaga. She's advertising her new album. But she did a dive bar tour where she just popped in to like total unknown bar. I was like, if I had known this woman was just popping in places, I would have been stalking her Instagram to find out where she was going.
Like, people were annoyed though because it made their dive bars, like, once people caught on, it made their dive bars like.
But I will say this about Lady Gaga. She can sing. I have seen her live. She can bring it. I'm excited. Anyway, Tom Hanks.
It's the first time he's hosted in 10 years.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't know it's been that long. Wow.
Yeah. Well, you know why? Because he walks on and makes appearances.
Yeah.
Remember he was himself in that Celebrity Jeopardy sketch.
Yes.
I believe that this will be his 9th time?
9th time. Okay. I knew he was coming up on 10 because they did that whole sketch. It was like an opening thing where they welcomed, I forget who they were welcoming into the 5 Timers Club. And Chevy.
That was back in 1990.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's a long time.
Wait, no, was that? No, let me double check.
Because that's 20 years ago.
Yeah, no. Oh. He had to have hosted like once a year from 1985 on then.
Yeah, he did. He had all those great movies then. I mean, you know, he was, and not that he's not doing great stuff now, but he had like, you know, an epic run for a while in movies. So I'm excited for next week. I think there's going to be really good stuff with Tom Hanks.
Consider what we know about Tom Hanks now that we didn't 10 years ago. Right. He's awesome at social media.
Yeah.
He randomly likes to record funny videos and loves like
photobombing sleeping people.
And taking weird pictures of like things he finds on the street.
Did you see the thing where he's jogging through Central Park and
yes,
the married couple was taking their pictures and he stops and comes around and he's like, I got to get a picture with you guys because this is too fabulous. Like he just starts talking and they invite him to the reception. He's like, oh no, I got a thing, but thank you. You know, like that's very generous. I don't think you want me to come. Like,
oh my God, opinion. I think he could play Joe Biden.
Yes. I think he could do it.
I mean,
I don't know if anybody's ever going to beat Jason Sudeikis's Joe Biden.
Yes.
Which I love. Yes. Oh, come on. I love his
Well, Joe Biden. Did you see his interview about meeting Biden and about how, like, Biden hadn't decided to run yet? And he was like, well, kind of don't know if I should leave SNL yet. I don't know. And he goes, oh, yeah, I guess your career kind of depends on me.
Oh, Uncle Joe, we love you. All right, well, we got T-minus like 4 weeks till the election happens. So let's just all shake it out. We're going to get there.
Take a shot, shake it out, whatever.
Right. We're going to be all right. America, we're going to be all right. All right, well, that's it for today's show, kids. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you for coming along for this ride. We've been hearing from a lot of you. Great feedback, both on the audio and video aspects. We're really excited. We've got a lot of great things coming, and we can't, please, we are on Twitter at
_TAO_podcast.
And also Nora and I are individually on Twitter. Just search our names, you'll find us.
We're there.
Yeah, and you can listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and at onegirlrevolution.net.
Yes, check us out. And, of course, on our YouTube channel, Talk Amongst Ourselves. So, please check us out everywhere. Share us with your friends. Show them and sharing is caring.
Also, if there's anything, especially TVs wise, you think we should be talking about, let us know. Nora finally saw Westworld.
We will be talking Westworld, everyone.
I think we might be doing like a shortened special edition episode about Westworld because oh my god, it's so awesome.
Yeah. I brought you some hoagies.
Yeah. Oh, and also concerning Insecure as well. Issa Rae's Insecure.
Yes.
So yes. So stay tuned. We'll probably have special edition episodes of those out as well. So, all right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.